So I've always wondered why love is being criminalized in the first place. Like you see, when an LGBTQ couple walking around, people just look at them differently. People think about harassing them, and the first thing that comes to their mind is that these people are doing something that is not legal. So that has always bothered me really, really much. Yeah.
You don't choose who to love, and I've always felt like it's so unfair that just because you're queer, you're not allowed to love whoever you want to love. Nobody wants to be told who to love, so why should we feel the need to tell other people who they should love? So it's really unfair. They should be free to love whoever they want, just like everyone else.
I have a lot of friends who don't identify and don't love what we term to as normal. I have friends who are LGBTQ, and there's no difference. We are all human, and I don't know why some of the times I want to discriminate you, because it's really unfair, and they're just good people like us. We eat together, we stay together, but I don't know where the difference comes in, and I don't know why someone would look at them and feel like they're doing something wrong or committing a crime, because if you get time to understand people, you'll just find out that we are all human. There's nothing different about us. Yeah.
So I think the police have also been socialized in a certain way, just the same way all of us have been socialized in different ways, and to some extent it gets overboard, especially now with our community and how we've seen and how it has been in the past, and how our parents have taught us that they are only straight people. But then when we grow up in this community and we realize that all of us are just human, and we are all required to love people differently or just be different, and it's okay to be different. But now, since they've been socialized differently, they now use their power, the power that is bestowed on them, to now be brutal in their way of showing, or in their way of expressing the way they've been socialized. They are brutal. Generally, all of us have related to the police in a certain way, and all of us know that the police can be brutal sometimes, if not all the times. And so the fact that they are not even able to treat us nicely would mean that they would do even worse to the LGBTQ community, because they've not been socialized to believe that the LGBTQ plus community are just people like any other person. And I feel like also the system has not been shaped to help the police understand the LGBTQ community, and also they don't understand that it is okay for people to just be different. It's okay for me to, just as my friend has said, it's okay for me to love differently. It's okay for me to show my expression in a different way, and it's okay, because at the end of it all, we're all humans, and we need to be treated with dignity and with love and with respect. And that is a virtue that the police don't uphold. So I don't expect it to be different to the LGBTQ community, because they treat everyone like that. So I think just starting from a point of understanding that everybody is a human being and should be treated with dignity and love, and should also be viewed as, the way they would treat their sisters, the way they would treat their brothers. Aside from being policemen, they have their own lives, and they have people they cherish, just the same way they would treat them. The same way they should treat all of us as citizens of this country, whether or not we are LGBTQ or we're just people that they see out here. So just treating all of us with dignity, because all of us are human.
I think it's high time we stop normalizing people just because what we have been taught to believe, or what we've been brought up to believe, that only normal people should be accepted in our communities.
So for me, I think before we even speak about hostility that is coming from the police, let's understand that hostility towards the LGBTQ community is something that iko in the community from us individuals, before we get to the responsibilities that we have as police people, as leaders, as police, as even the Ministry of Health, or anything, even the government. So this hostility is coming from the aspect of socialization, as one of my colleagues has spoken about. And socialization is something that it's a lifetime thing that happens from when you're born to maybe when you die. Now, when we look at the police, these are human beings themselves, and there's a place they come from. They've been socialized as well to believe that there's an understanding that love is between a man and a woman. But I'll pose a question to all of us just to ask that when we are talking about love, are we talking about falling in love with the genitals of people? We have to confirm what genital a person has for us to then fall in love with them, or we just fall in love with them first, then discover who they are later. So for me, I think the police also impose on their opinions, on their thoughts on how they want to treat the LGBTQ community, which is also a bad thing, because their duties as police is beyond who they feel they are, or it's beyond their thoughts or their perceptions or how they think they would want life to be or how people would want to live. So for me, I think when police officers take upon themselves to decide to criminalize or to harm the queer people, especially gay men in this country, or maybe trans people, that is not what the law is saying, but it's something a person, a human being who's a police officer has decided that because I come from a community that criminalizes or does not accept a gay man, then I as a police, I have power, to either harm this person or protect them. So for me, I think the police are required to do their duties that call upon them, and these duties are to govern or to protect everyone regardless of their sexuality. So when you find that police are the ones who are also, taking part in criminalizing the LGBTQ community, then it sets a pace to the community, the rest of the communities, on how ideally they should be treating the next gay child they have, even parents themselves.